junior world finalist in this event. And Rowdy, she's flanked by a pair of Canadians here. Lane 3, it's Bailey O'Regan, the 16-year-old from Canada who trains at Sarasota Sharks in Florida. And Emma Finland, another Canadian, alongside in lane number 5. She swam for Canada at Junior Pan Packs and also at the Open Water World.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to see some good international swimmers here at this meet. And of course, Shebla, who has been so spectacular during her brief career, still only 19 years of age, as you mentioned, World Junior Finals. She has the fastest time by far of anybody in this group. Joey Dixon had the fastest time. She was a late scratch.
Angela Kadori taking her spot there in lane number 2. Also got Gracie Wyant, another Sarasota Sharks swimmer, there in lane number 1. We'll see her big sister Emma coming up in the A final, which will also feature Summer McIntosh. That should be a highlight duel between 2 of the 3 on the podium in this event in Budapest earlier this summer.
Good chance to talk about the Olympic trials coming up in about 18 months in Indianapolis. First time it's not been held in Omaha since 2004. Can't wait to get to that incredible city and go into that football stadium and see about 25, 30,000 people in the stands. It's going to be fantastic. But we talk about the trial cuts. Not easy making the Olympic trials. It's not like you just show up and say, here I am, now give me a pass to the Olympic Games. You have to qualify for the trials. And then they take the top 2 swimmers in each individual event to move on to Paris at the Olympic Games. It's been that way since 1984. And this cut here, Jason, 4:49.89 to make the big dance in Indy. Right now, the top qualifier, Ray Shebley, was 4:54.8. So that's kind of the sweet spot, I think, for maybe the top 3 or 4 swimmers, I think, in this B final to make the trial cuts.
Good battle right now there. Shebley, Finland, separated by about 3/10. You've been impressed with the times you've seen through the first couple of nights of competition thus far?
Yeah, you know, things are going to start ramping up. Every meet we go to now until we get to Indy is going to be an opportunity to see faster and faster times. We've seen that internationally here in 2022. We're going to continue to see that over the next 18 months. And, you know, this is, as I've said the last couple of days, you want to end the year on a good note because it's not necessarily the end. It's really the kind of beginning of another big journey. And somebody like Shebley, who, you know, is 19 years old, is in a monster event for the United States. It's just, it's not for the faint of heart. I said, this sport is not for the faint of heart. The 400 IM for women is definitely that. 5 of the 9 fastest swimmers in the world come from the United States. So if you want to even think about making the Olympic team, my guess is you're going to have to be 4:31, 4:32. That's really, really fast.
That certainly is the case. Nice duel developing here in this B final in the 400 IM right now, and those 2 have been the lead 2 all the way, trading back and forth. The teenage Canadian Finland now inching ahead as we set up for the freestyle finish.
Yeah, much faster than they were in the preliminaries, so looking right on track to certainly go faster than this morning. And this is, again, when you take these 2 swimmers and they're kind of going head to head, they can see each other. That's really important. And then you've got, well, we talked about Emma Wyant, and then her little sister, 17-year-old Gracie, is down there in lane 1 giving a little bit of a chase.
She will follow her sister to Florida as well, and you see her starting to pour it on down there in lane 1. Big time freestyle thrust here from Gracie Wyant, try to close the gap.
I don't think she's going to close the gap with Finland. There's no doubt she's not going to chase her down.
Might get there for second. Emma Finland, though, surging ahead and taking the win here in the B final. Impressively for her, 4:48.65 is the time for Finland, and that's a new personal best for her by 5+ seconds.
She's got to be really happy with that time. Not only is that a PB, but even though she's Canadian, that does qualify for the U.S. That time would have qualified, the only one that would have qualified for the U.S. Olympic trials. She won't have to worry about that.
You see, furious charge from Wyatt, just about a quarter second short of second place. But Emma Finland taking the first race victory of the night here in the women's 400 individual medley B final. Here comes the field for the championship affair, the women's 400 IM final. Katinka Hosu still holding down the world record, the Iron Lady. Summer McIntosh, well, she's a teenage titan. Earlier this summer at age 15, youngest world champion at over a decade, won 2 golds at the Worlds in Budapest, including this race, and she set it in world junior record time. Rest of the field here, including 15-year-old Chloe Kim from Scarlet Aquatics in New Jersey in lane 1. Michaela Mattis, Sarasota Sharks in Florida. Good event for the 17-year-old, second of the 800 free, third of the 400 free already at this meet. Catherine Hazel, the Canadian from North Coast Aquatics in California, will swim at Cal collegiately. She's in lane 3. Then it's McIntosh there, center stage, lane 4, top qualifier, best in the heats by a bundle, about 4.5 seconds. Emma Wyatt, Olympic silver medalist from Tokyo, bronze at the Worlds in June in this race. Second best in qualifying, she's in lane 5. Alexis Yeager from the University of Tennessee, 5th in the 200 IM, the 24-year-old, will swim out of lane 6. Natalia Almeida from Brazil won the B final of the 200 IM at this meet, 25-year-old. They're in lane 7. In lane 8, 15-year-old Avery Klamfoth of Swim Mac Carolina. They're ready to get after it. And Emma Wyatt, one of 2 American.
Did talk about Olympic trial cuts. These swimmers, the top echelon here, will be certainly going for those times. Leskovich, the top qualifier, 21 years of age, went 4:25.7 in the morning. The cut here to make it to Indy at those trials, 4:25.19. We've got a couple of swimmers in here that have that chance to be one of the first. Remember, the trial cuts first start here. You could not have made the Olympic trial cuts before this competition. So from here on out, over the next 18 months or so, you'll be able to make those times at any sanctioned long course meter championship meet.
Well, we've got a ton of teenagers here in this field. All but one under the age of 20. That includes the youngest performer, Sean Green, right now from Long Island Aquatic Club in New York. 15-year-old there in lane 2, second best. Deish Knapp from Sarasota Sharks in Florida, lane 5. Looking like he's starting to inch out a little bit in backstroke, but here comes Green. And he roars on by in lane 2.
Talking about all these young swimmers really reminds me of how much, you know, the USA Swimming Foundation, I've been a proud ambassador to that for the last 20 years or so. And we talk about the mission of saving lives and building champions, of course, impacting communities. That's what they do when they start these swimmers so young. We want to really teach them how to be water safe, safer in the water early on. But since 2004, $8.5 million has gone to provide education and water safety materials and training to over 1,200 swim lesson providers around the country. So when you see these young swimmers out here, this is sort of the end product of what the foundation is all about, trying to get more kids in the water.
Well, the kids of the water right now are continuing to excel. Pretty good race here in the B final, men's 400 IM. And Green, lane number 2, still ahead. Knopp in lane 5. And Butterfly, maybe a half a body length the advantage right now. Puskovich in lane 4 tried to step it up too and thrust himself into the podium conversation. Kyle Brill, lane 6, swims at UC Santa Barbara right now. That proud gaucho giving chase as well.
And this is a case sort of like what we saw with McIntosh. Green, so young, 15 years of age, so he doesn't have that strength that you really need, that power, that great explosion you need in breaststroke. So he's going to fall back a little bit. But once again, once he grows up and grows into that body, his breaststroke, just like Summers, is going to improve dramatically. Turns 16 in March, and trust me, this young man will be very, very tough as he gets a little bit older.
Awesome breaststroke session there for Kyle Brill to thrust himself to the point. Puskovich there in lane number 4, giving chase now as we're well into the start of this freestyle finish.
Yeah, Brill up there for Rose Bowl Aquatics. Then you've got Santa Monica, a couple California clubs going out here, these top 2.
Puskovich going past, up by 3/10 as they turn for home. Josh Parent getting into 3rd position right now in lane 3 for the 18-year-old Bluefish Swim Club in Massachusetts.
Well, he's the oldest by far in this group, Puskovich, and maybe that little bit of experience will pay off here with a win.
Yeah, the 21-year-old going to sail his way to the wall and take the victory. Green does hang on there for 2nd, 3rd to Kyle Brill, and 4th to Josh Parent.
Yeah, but all 4 of those swimmers, the top 4, all qualified for the Olympic trials, and Puskovich goes just off his best time, but almost 2.5 seconds faster than the trial cuts, where all 4 of those swimmers will end up making it. Good swim for Sean Green as well, the young 15-year-old.
And new personal best for Kyle Brill there by about 1.5 seconds to get him in a 3rd position in this 400 IM B final for the men. For 17-year-old headed to Virginia.
Pretty simple here. Get trial cuts, you got to break a minute. 001's the cut, but that barrier of a minute is a very important barrier for these swimmers here in the B final. Trying to break a minute to get to those Olympic trials in Indianapolis.
Leah Gingrich, the veteran at age 32, still swimming strong down in lane number 1. Trying to play catch-up right now. Anna Bamer, Michigan recruit from Solo Aquatics in Massachusetts, the 17-year-old leading, but here comes Hallie alongside.
27.9 on the way out, a little bit faster than she went in the prelim. Bamer right there in lane 5, and you're right, it's kind of shaping up for the B2 swimmers. Can they both get under a minute here?
Pair of 17-year-olds headed to college powerhouses in the future. What a duel here down the stretch at the wall. Hallie will sneak in there to win it by about 2/10. Great race. Leah Gingrich ends up in a deadlock with Mimi Watts from American University there in DC for 3rd.
Yeah, very tight coming down in there at the end, and Hallie just gets ahead of her with that white cap. A little bit better extension into the wall.
Get a look at the results. Super swims there in the B final, and Hallie takes the win. The United States.
Great backstroker, obviously. World record holder in the 100-meter short course backstroke. Just talked to him on the deck, and I was teasing about how many people love that mustache he's got. I said, dude, you know, Mark Spitz won 7 gold medals with a mustache. You should keep it. He said, hey, listen, my wife likes it, so I'm going to keep it. I love what Coleman's done in the sport, and he's a great representative as well, and still going strong at 24.
Spencer Daly right now cruising along in lane number 2, but has some competition right now, namely Coleman Stewart charging hard there in lane number 5.
Yeah, looking good right now. You know, he said, listen, I'm not at my best here at this meet, but I'm here to swim, and right now he's going to win the B final.
Certainly will. And gets it done by 4/10, the win for Coleman Stewart, as he takes the win here in the B final.
Yeah, that would have been 6th seed going into the finals. He put together nice splits right there, 24/7, showed that little flash of speed like he did when he broke that world record in the 100 back last year, and then 28-1 coming home. Nice job.
Look at this field, including Trina Bellio, the young Canadian, swims at UCLA. Finalist already in the 400 and 800 freeze, 7th in both at this meet. And routing in lane 6, Camille Spink showed some speed, 3rd in the 50 free for the 18-year-old out of Nation's Capital Swim Club in Virginia.
Coached by Jeremy Lin. You might know that name, Olympic gold medalist back from the 96 games in Atlanta.
And Spink with that sprint speed, racing out to the lead here. This opening 50. Julia Burrows from Tennessee Aquatics, 2nd best right now. And then it's Emma Atkinson from Virginia Tech in lane 5, holding down 3rd.
2:00:89. Olympic trial cuts in this event. Nobody close to that this morning. Did see a little bit faster times here, and some swimmers that might be close to it. Very close tight race here at the halfway point, right? 2/10 of a second separating the top 4 swimmers.
There is a wall of swimmers right now here vying for the lead, including charge down lane 1, Reagan Osborne from LSU there in Louisiana, trying to see if she can get up into the conversation, fading back just a touch. Right now, Atkinson looking like she's inching ahead in lane 5.
4 Aussies rated in the top 10 in the world this year, and yet the United States, with only 2, Ledecky and Erin Gimmel, won the 800 freestyle relay at the World Championships this past summer. Was awarded the Golden Goggles Award as Best Relay of the Year.
Well, Spink, who started off strong, battling back here. Atkinson still in the lead. Spink coming hard in lane 6. Atkinson trying to hold her down. Bellio firing 2 to the wall. Spink will come back and get the win by 0.16 of a second. Nice victory for the 18-year-old to get the win here in the B.
Yeah, and even though she has a best time of 1:59.8, she's the only one in that group that actually went under the trials cut, so she can check that off the list. Got that done. Got off to a great race there. Tight all the way through. 0.16 of a second separated those 2 swimmers.
Again, great race. Spink able to come past Atkinson down the stretch and snare the win. Kayla Wilson there from Stanford in 3rd. Bellio out of UCLA in 4th. Here, men's 200-meter freestyle B final. And a look at this group, including Kai Winkler, 16-year-old from Eagle Aquatics in Florida in lane 3. What a pair of relay golds at the Junior Pan Packs with Team USA this summer in Hawaii, and silver individually in the 50 free.
This kid's going to be good. I mean, he has had a really good short course yard season thus far. Already been 42 plus in the 100-yard freestyle. Very tall, lengthy, right there in lane number 3. He's got that same sort of build as another youngster, David Popovic from Romania, who has the fastest time in the world this year, 1:42.9. Reminds me a little bit of him.
Chris Giuliano of Notre Dame won the B final in the 50 free, and showing that early speed here in the 200 free B final. Mark Ceranic was 5th in the 200 IM at this meet. The British veteran representing Gator Swim Club, the elder statesman in this race at age 27 in lane 6, and he's got the lead here by a 10th. Ivan Karakin from Triton's Aquatic Club, UC San Diego, right now second best.
Got to break 150 to make trials touch. 1:49.99. Boy, that's fast to me. I mean, I broke the world record in the 200 freestyle, going just under 1:49. The world record was 1:50.2. You got to break 50 just to make the cut. Of course, that was a couple of years ago that I did.
Nobody slows down, not when you've got these youngsters continuing to get faster and faster. Right now, Oscar Lindholm, 21-year-old from Sweden, swims at Florida, trying to give chase in lane 2. Winkler in lane 3, and at the wall,
It's
how
Winkler.
about, it is Winkler out-touching Noah Bowers, who had a phenomenal race for Wolfpack Elite there in second in lane number 5. Winkler just off his personal best by about 2/10.
Yeah, I think there are 30-something swimmers in the 200 freestyle. He is the youngest of all 30 swimmers in the 200 freestyle. And usually when you get to these sprints, and I'm talking 50 through 200, it's for big boys and much older boys. And this kid was the youngest by far in the field, and he wins this with just off his best time.
Bowers there in second, and Karakin does lower his personal best by about 2/10, coming home in third. See, also you've got North Carolina Skylar Smith there in lane number 6. A ton of collegians in this group here out.
Yeah, Makarova in lane number 4 just missed making the A final. 3/100ths of a second off of 8th place right there, that AU cap right in the middle of the pool. And you mentioned Skylar Smith. She's really taking it out quickly here in the prelims. She was out quick in the prelims, the first 50. Wasn't able to hang on to squeeze into those finals. But again, showing that early speed, about 4/10 of a second faster just on that 50 alone from the prelims.
Top of your screen in lane 8, Katja Papasevic, the Canadian, swims for Triton's Aquatic Club there in California at UC San Diego. Had herself a good beginning, but right now, Niamh Coyne of Ireland racing strong there, the 21-year-old in lane 5, trying to pass Smith. Coyne looking to hang on, Smith looking to battle back. Well, the Irish swimmer will take the victory here in the B final.
Great second half for Coyne, faster than anybody else in the field. 36.7 on the way home.
Nice swim for Coyne. Smith there in second, just a 10th off her personal best. And Papasevic there with a new personal best for her by about 6/10. On the pool deck they come here, the women's 100-meter breaststroke final here in Greensboro last April. Julio Jorrego represents Honduras internationally from South Florida Aquatic Club. Another guy with a pretty good pedigree in lane 6.
102.1 trial cuts. Good strong contingent from the international side of things. Indian swimmer Prima right there in lane 5. Alain Bear, who swims for at the University of Evansville, and of course Israel, who has had really a great couple of years of swimming now, led by David Marsh and many other great coaches.
Brian Benzing out of Towson University in Maryland. He's swimming strong right now. Keith Prema from India and the University of Indianapolis in lane 5, battling him hard. And here comes Pouch trying to ramp it up. Alexander Sanchez too at Aggie Swim Club in lane 2, looking good.
Boy, it is. Look at this, Jason. Good luck calling the last 10 meters of this one.
Angus Menzies from Australia down in lane number 1 may sneak in there. He will, to take the win, coming hard on the outside, victorious by about 3.5 tenths. Pouch rallying for second.
Yeah, Menzies way down there at the bottom. His best time, 103.1 coming in, and you know, give credit to Australia. They've had some really solid swims. We saw Koch earlier, and now Menzies way down. You can barely see him down there at the bottom of your screen, just laying out on that last stroke.
So Menzies, again, blasting home from lane 1 to be number 1 in the B final in the men's 100 breaststroke. Then it's Pouch, Sanchez, and Benzing in a tie for 4th with Prima. World Relay silver medalist with Team USA at the 2019 Worlds. She'll be in lane number 4. Got a 15-year-old in this race too, Rowdy, in lane 2, Sylvia Roy from Mount Lebanon Aquatic Club in Pennsylvania.
This is the one race that I've been looking forward to all night long. Along with McIntosh in that 400 IM, this is the one that I just kept my eye on. I just have a feeling Reagan Smith in the A final, along with Catherine Burkhoff, 2 of the 10 fastest swimmers in the world this year, are going to
That's coming up in the A final. Right now, the lead here for Danielle Hill, another Irish swimmer competing here at the Toyota US Open in lane 6. 15-year-old Roy, they're in lane 2. Looking strong, that blue calf with the gold lettering.
Yeah, this is a very tight field. I like Tess Halley up there in lane number 7 as well. She's looking strong.
Another teenager from Long Island Aquatic Club in New York. Abby Webb of Australia, though, watching the win come for Gabby DeLoof, now wearing volunteer colors, able to sneak in there and take the win by 2 tenths over Roy. Howley in 3rd.
Well, DeLoof has come in with a lot of experience, obviously, 26 years of age. She's been in a situation like this time and time again, and good win for her.
So Gabby DeLoof, victorious. Sylvia 50 back. Hunter Armstrong set the 50 back world record here at the International Team Trials in this pool last April. Missed the A final, Rowdy, by 0.02 of a second.
Yeah, you cannot rest on your laurels anywhere if you're swimming in the United States. It's just, there are too many great swimmers, and this maybe took a little bit of an edge off in the morning, which cost him a spot here in the finals.
Armstrong now training at Cal. He's in lane 4. Nicholas Garcia from Spain, from Virginia Tech, they're in lane 3. Right now, lane 1, Jacob Olachek looking pretty good. He's got the lead.
You got to remember that Hunter Armstrong, even though he's swimming in the B final, he'll be on that World Championship team. So he's in a completely different phase of his training. So you didn't expect a lot here. He'll be rested and shaved and ready to go when we get to Melbourne, but he's looking pretty good right here this second 50.
Kind of likes this pool, you think, after that 50 back world record here last spring, and checks in with the B final victory, as you might expect. 53.61, and beats everybody by about 2 seconds. You've got Nate Germanprey from Inspire Swim Team in Nebraska, second best.
He's 26.6 going out, 26.9 coming home. How about that? That's with a start going out in 26.6. So really, he was faster his second 50 than he was his first 50. And you know, it's just a little bit of experimenting going along, getting ready for Melbourne.
Hunter Armstrong, again, atop the standings in a race, but here in Greensboro, it is the B final.